All right, guys. Believe it or not, man, I'm still working on this hood area. As you can see, it's starting to shine up well in spots, but you can also you can see a lot of scratches, sand and scratches left behind. Yeah, a lot of swirl marks from the DA, etc. In certain areas, it's better than others. And I think what's happened is maybe I missed a whole chunk of space during sanding. I don't know, but one thing for sure is I'm not gonna leave it like this. So what I've opted to do is I'm just gonna try to wet sand it some more. I have some, but this time I'm gonna do it by hand. I use the DA, and I don't know if that's influenced in these scratch marks, but that just doesn't look good. So yeah, as I said, I'm gonna try to sand or block out this one portion of the hood and see if I can't correct it that way. I've now tried multiple different pads and multiple different uh, types of compound. I do have one last pad that I wasn't able to try because it's not going to arrive until tomorrow. It's a microfiber 6-inch pad by McGuire. I want to try that to see if it helps, but while I'm waiting, I'm going to go ahead and take the risk of potentially breaking through the clear coat by sanding on this a little bit more with some 2000 grit, because to me, looking at those scratch marks, that looks like the 800 grit sand marks when I was aggressively trying to knock down all the orange peel and imperfections. So yeah, can't leave it like that. So let me quit talking. I'm gonna break out the sandpaper and see what happens. Hopefully I'm successful, but either way, I'll show you guys what happened. So stay tuned. Yeah, we're back at it, guys. So yeah, as you saw in the last clip, right, I was struggling with still having all those DA sanding marks. So I went ahead and broke out the 2000 grit sandpaper on the long block, opposed to the air operated DA, and I knocked it down. Did a couple passes, and already to me, like, the marks have kind of disappeared. But just to play it safe, because I don't know how difficult the 2000 grit sanding marks would be to get out, I do have some 3000 grit paper as well. So I'm gonna give it a pass with the 3000 as well, and then I'm gonna buff this one side and take another look and see if that did the trick. As you can see, I still left this side the way it was, and you can see, you can see all those fine scratches or those sanding marks. You walk away from it, back up, and oh yeah, it looks good. But I'm the kind of person where you need to be able to get up on it and it look good too. So no shortcuts. We got to do it, and we're gonna do it the right way. And it's a learning process for me, right? So that's just that. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get that sandpaper, drop it in the bucket, let it soak in some water a bit, that 3000 grit, and then go ahead and give this thing a couple of passes by hand. And all in all, I have confidence that it's gonna work out. But before I do the entire hood, I'm just opted to do this one section so we can have a test to see if, okay, yeah, that did the trick, or oh, nope, still got an issue. Maybe you need a little more sanding. 'Cause I'm trying to be conservative with the sanding, you know. Although I put a good amount of clear on the hood, I've sanded off a good amount too, because there were quite a few imperfections. So when I hit it with the 800 grit, that knocked off, at least a millimeter, probably a couple. So I want to be careful, because the worst thing that could happen now is I go a little bit too far with the sandpaper, and now we hit the base coat, and we have a issue on our hands. But worst case, if that happens, it's part of the experience and the learning process. I think we'll be good. I try to keep positive vibes out there, but worst comes to worst, what I'm getting at is we'll just re-clear it. It is what it is. Such is life. But everybody cross your fingers and toes for me, and stay tuned for the next little segment in this clip. Let's see if we can't get it where we need it to be. Hold on, coming right up. All right, guys, so after sanding it out with a little 2000 and 3000 grit, the DA marks are gone, but now I have like these fine sanding marks. Um, I'm just gonna, I probably more than likely just need to go over it with the buffer a few more times. This is only after like, I would say 2 passes, but it really shined up nice. So clearly I had stopped sanding too soon the other time around. And so I at least know if I continue to go over the hood, I can get it this good. This is much more tolerable than the DA marks. Like you would see, like on this side, I didn't touch it. You could still see all the damn swirls from the DA. I think some of that is still 800 grit marks, or maybe I didn't get enough of a cut on it with the 2000. And I honestly, I didn't even go 3000 in every spot of the hood. So that explains some of it. Some of these finder scratch marks, I think they will come out if I continue to buff. So I'm gonna buff on it a little bit longer. And worst case, like I said in the previous clip, I ordered a microfiber cutting pad that's supposed to be able to take out these kind of scratch marks. I also do still have a couple other pads around here, including a wool pad. So I think I might try the wool pad now. I'm just trial and error experimenting in an effort to perfect the game, you know? Because like I said, guys, I'm no professional with this stuff, but I got the balls to try. And to top it off, it's my car. So if something goes wrong, it's all on me. It's not such a big deal. But at the end of the day, it's really looking a lot better. You see the overhead lights, you can really see those a lot clearer now. There's still a lot of little BS stuff, you know, little imperfection in the clear that are kind of looking like a bunch of little dots. So I know if I sand more, I can get some of that stuff out, but I'm gonna try and see if some of it will buff out too. I mean, honestly, I think those are just a bunch of little fish eyes in the clear that really ideally should be sanded out, but some of them are microscopic enough that maybe this compound, once it heats up the clear, maybe, or heats up the panel, maybe some of that stuff will disappear or get filled in with the resins from the compound. But who the hell knows? I don't know. I'm learning. But if I stop now, then I'd never know if it could have been better. So I'm gonna keep going. Again, so far no issues in terms of like breaking through the clear or anything tragic like that. So let's continue to cross our fingers and toes. But all in all, I'm happy with what I've learned so far, you know. So the lesson from this is I had more sanding to do, clearly. Yeah, so it is what it, and I probably still have a little bit more to do. And maybe it's one of those things where I really needed to also have some 5000 grit sandpaper. But from all my research, that's kind of like overkill. That's only for like show car type stuff. So I think it's really a combination of the right compound and the right pads. You know, I showed you guys earlier I was using this the CSI compound. It's pretty good, you know. But I did some other research and they said for these kind of scratches and stuff, you should try some of this stuff. McGuire's Ultimate Compound. I've tried it so far, but I think the pads that I have on the buffer are not aggressive enough to help the compound. So let me go ahead and switch to the wool pad. We'll see what that does. And worst case, we'll have the other pad tomorrow. So today is Thursday, tomorrow is Friday, my time. I don't know when that pad is gonna get delivered, you know, so by the time it comes, I'll probably already be at work at my day job. So more than likely we won't get to try it on the car until Saturday. But that's okay, because like I said, I only did this one section here. You see the other section over there that has all that buffing compound on it. That's just like splatter that comes off of the buffer, you know. I just didn't wipe it down yet, but that's not an issue. But all I'm getting is I still need to sand this whole portion, this edge, as well as this side as well. You know, so far as a test, I just did this little section here, and I think I'm on the right track, right? Because I don't see all those unsightly DA lines, and the hood has a lot more clarity. That means we're doing the right thing. So I'm gonna keep going. Let me shut up. I'm gonna grab the wool pad, throw it on the buffer, clean it a little bit, and then try to hit this thing again. And I think I'm gonna go with the McGuire stuff. because it's supposed to be special for this. So we'll see. Hang tight, guys. I don't have a whole lot of time, but let me try it real quick, and hopefully I'll get a little clip with an update to round out this little video for today. All right, wish me luck. I'll be right back. Yo. Okay, we're back, guys. I spent a little bit more time polishing it with different compounds, etc. Now, it buffed up a little bit nicer, but, you know, the scratches are still there, so we'll see how it goes when we get the other pad tomorrow. But if you take a look at this other side, like just look at like the reflection of the light bulbs. You can see that definitely is unacceptable finish right there. You can see a ton of scratch marks and it looks blurry, etc. But if you walk with me, boom, you see the bulbs transition. You get a lot more clarity on them. Yeah, for sure, there's still some flaws in the clear, but it's much better. So if nothing else, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take that approach with the sandpaper, and providing we have enough time tomorrow, we wanna get the rest of the hood sanded out with both the 2000 and the 3000. And what I think I might do when I do the other portion of the hood is just spend a little bit more time with the 3000, trying to make sure I eliminate any of the 2000 grit sanding marks, because I think that's what's going on here. I had a little problem when I was using the 3000 grit paper because it's a bit smaller than the 2000 grit. Didn't really fit the block I have too well, and I kept tearing it. It's also some paper I had for a while that's old, and it got a little bit of mold on it, but I just brushed that off anyway, right? But long story short, I might need to buy some new 3000 grit sandpaper. But I think I can get by with it, so I'm gonna keep pushing. Even this area I sanded, I didn't do it perfect. I know the camera picks it up in a couple of spots where it still looks dull, like right here. I stayed away from some of those crevices because it's right where this lump in the hood is, and I don't want to really buff in that area, but we'll get to it. You know, like I said, it was a trial and error kind of thing, just seeing if this was gonna lead us down the right path. So far it is. So, and of course, if you step back, oh man, yeah, damn, it looks good. Like if you saw this thing going down the road, you would be like, wow, you know? But it's when you step out and look at it like, oh, yeah, damn, he's got some scratches in the paint there. You don't want that, you know? I don't want that, at least. So I'm gonna keep working on it, guys. So stay tuned, and we'll see what we can make happen with it between, let's say, now and Monday. Today being Thursday, you know, or Saturday's the day when I'll have the most time to work on it and should be able to make the most progress. But I can't promise that I'll give you the video that quick. So you just gotta bear with me, and yeah, let's see what we can make happen. The crazy part, right, is for some reason in my head, I thought I was gonna finish this work on the hood real quick and get to the other areas of the car, but you know, that's just one of the things. Sometimes things take time, you know? And this is one of those things that just simply takes time. You can't rush it unless you don't care, you know? And, you know, that's not me at all. I definitely care, so I'm trying to get it right. With all of that said, we'll be back on it tomorrow, so let's see what we can do. All right, guys, this is your host, Shawnee C. from Motor City Customs, and that's a wrap for this activity. See you soon. Peace.